What's up, everybody? I'm Nova coming at you with another one. Thought we would check in on Bitcoin and the fractal that we've been watching, the double hump when we cross the 350 times 2. We got technically a double hump crossing the 350 times 2, but we're not finding the same support level, right? We did test the 111 here. We actually pierced the 111 before we ran up to our final. So quite similar. The only difference I see is we're doing the test and support on the 50, which is kind of reminiscent of what's happened after the camel hump. So this could be a mishmash of what's happening here. And then once we break out, this thing ran up. And we're at a crucial point. It looks like this thing wants to round off, to be honest. But it's still bullish. We're above the 50. We're just consolidating. The concern here is this thing is just about to flash closed. I think we're a couple percent off from close. And just zoom in a little bit more. So from here, we're just under 2%, 1.8%. It's getting really close. And I'm really hoping for a major dump off to repaint this, or else we may be repeating what happened in 2013. So again, cycles overlapping and repeating themselves, or echoing what's going on. So right now, well, I guess we can say that this is pretty well what's happening. We tested. Have we closed? I'm not sure if this is as accurate as it could be. And if that's the case, the breakout to the upside will probably be like so. And then maybe up around there. We got to move Tux over, don't we? What is that, around 70K? About 70K or so. And then we have to come back down, find support. Looking left, we can see where support should be if it doesn't break down. If we hit a top, we could be heading into a mid-season crypto winter, which I guess would give the altcoins a chance to regain some dominance. And I'm just looking at this. So in previous videos, we showed that, this was a top, and then we deleted it, and then this went to the next top, this went to the next top. Now we're at the SMA 5, which is here. I'm going to turn it off. And now this is the 3, which is here. And you can see how it was like resist, 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 punch through. Oops, I got the wrong one. There. Punch through, and then we hit it, and then that was it. That was the top. And what are we seeing now? We're seeing the same line. Resist, resist, resist. Are we going to punch through? So it's kind of a mishmash, right? We're resisting, but we're kind of punching through. We're kind of punching through. And I think the final punch might send us, if it does happen, if we don't have like a major rest period or pullback, we're going to punch through. And this resistance line is just crossing the 100. So does that mean we're going to punch through and hit like 120 or so and then go into a crypto winter? Now, keep in mind, we're just starting off April, right? Let's go back in time to 2013. So I'm thinking we might be doing one of these, punch through, and then a monster sell off, and then a run up to the next one. So this was April 2013. We could almost argue that this is part of this run, which ended in December 2013. So I'm starting to wonder if we got a whole bunch of past cycles that are starting to blend together and getting us ready for that final run, and then a rest, and then a run. So maybe we will see 100, 120 with a pullback and a long, boring rest. Maybe alts will take over dominance, and then the run up to 120, and then like this will be a mini crypto winter for Bitcoin, and then a major crypto winter. Like we're talking 80% pullback, right? Because that's normally what seems to be happening. Where are we? Yeah, 84%. Now, if we do get up to 180, I don't think we're going to see 80% pullbacks anymore. And the reason being is in the past, we would hit one of these Fibonacci lines, and then we would worry about the next one. What's happening here? This might be the first sign of stability in Bitcoin, right? As we head our way up to $1 million or whatever it's going to end up at. So we had resist, compression, and then it punched through and it hit the next one. Now we've got, it's a bit sloppy, but we're kind of finding resistance. And I think the next punch through will be that. And that argues more stability, because we're not worried about those higher multipliers anymore. And if that's the case, then maybe we will negate this one on the next cycle, and price will probably start finding resistance on that as the top, and maybe it will jive more on the 350 times 2. I'm not sure, but indicators are saying like we're close to the end of the cycle. This is going to be the final run. It'll be fast, it'll be violent, it'll be impossible to get to the top. So the smart traders are basically taking off profits and then getting ready for those profits to be reinvested on the dump, because it always happens. History repeats itself. And the 350 times 2, we went way below it when we dump, right? So, and on the indicator, I did notice when I played with the 618, the 0.5, and the 382, that seemed to be signals for entries, right? And the lower it went, the more aggressive that you would be. So that's the 618, definitely near the bottom. There's the 0.5 when you start accumulating. Didn't quite touch here. There's the 0.5. There's the touch. And then once we broke the 0.5, it looked like we're getting ready to head on up. You can see we found support on the 618. And this one was a bit short-lived, so we never really made it down. And here we go on the pullback. 618, there's the 0.5. 618, that's the 0.5. And then we actually went a little below the 3. Is it the 382? 382. And then once we broke the 618, we were off to the races. Same thing here, 618, 0.5, 382, 618, off to the races. This was a little weird. Technically, the signal to accumulate more because things were going to get pretty violent. And sure enough, they were. Once we came up, we're on this run. So this would have been entry points, and we are very close to exit points. I mean, that's the cross. So yeah, that's the yellow fractal that I'm kind of looking at, but it's higher, right? And then there's the red fractal, which was playing along the 20 and the 50. And then we didn't see the 20 cross until after the top. So if this thing runs above the 20, it could be this. This might be it. And that's it. We're done. And then we go into a consolidation phase again. So, and that's BLX, which is usually a day behind. Let's look at present day. And what have we got going on here? So this trend line, where was the pullback? Right there. So this pullback to the top repeated on the candle that breaks out of this, kind of called the top. And then we went into consolidation again. And as we zoom in, that pullback to the top, we are waiting for wherever this confirms, and then the next candle will probably aim us up around 73, 75 before we start looking for a pullback and the next top. If that happens, the more upside we see, where is that? The more upside we see, the more concerned I am that we are going to end up going way too fast. So we can see that marker here is up around the 102 right now. I don't see us flying straight up to the 102 right away. Something just jumped out at me. Bear with me. Yeah. So we can see how we came down, found support. We ran on this, came down, found support. It looks like maybe we'll run this way. And then if this thing shoots straight up to here, I think it's game over. And then that's it. We're going to be consolidating for months. So we have to wait and see how this plays out. I think this is starting to round off, to be honest. And maybe we'll have to recalculate. Like, is this all one big fractal of the yellow? Do you see what I mean? Could that be the first part, and then this is a very messy version of the second part? We went up, cupped, handled. So that's that one. We went up. What am I doing? Okay, let's go back here. Yeah. So there's this, and we went up, we cupped. We didn't quite get a handle, right? So is it this? And then a major dump to the 111? Not entirely sure, but this is telling us we're close to a top. So I really want a continuation dump, maybe down to about the $40,000 mark. If we don't see that and we hit 100, I think it's over. Anyways, repeating myself, that's it for Bitcoin. We're just waiting for this consolidation to finish. And then we'll wait and see if the trend continues down or if we see a breakdown back down to 41.5, I'm sure the news will start directing either fear or greed, at which point people will either be jumping in or getting out. And then it'll go the other way. So that's Bitcoin. Trade safe.